These are two wide receivers that had moderately pretty good weeks last week. Christian Watson had a touchdown on his 4 targets. He had 3 receptions for 68 yards, whereas Romeo Doubs, it is Dobbs, right? Had the same amount of targets, the same amount of receptions, but slightly less yards, but 2 touchdowns coming off his 1-game suspension. Both had double-digit points. One had 15.8, and then obviously Dobbs had more with the 19.9. If you are stuck, you have to pick one of these wide receivers to start because you have CeeDee Lamb, and he is out this week on bye. DJ Moore is out this week. All of these guys are out this week. Which one of these Packers, and you don't have Jaden Reed, you don't have Tucker Kraft, which wide receiver are you going with for the Packers?
So, in some dynasty leagues, I've got Jordan Love. I picked him in rookie drafts a while ago, and I held on to him for all this time, and it paid off. And during that time, I slowly acquired the Packers wide receivers like Infinity Stones, so then I could take over the world by getting who would be the number 2 to Jaden Reed, because Jaden Reed is just the bomb. And I think I actually have this dilemma coming up. I think if you want a higher floor, but you also want a massive, if you want a lower floor but a massive ceiling, you're going to go Christian Watson. If you want somebody that's pretty much going to give you 5 receptions, 50 yards pretty consistently, and then a touchdown every other week, you're going Romeo Doubs. And I think this is going to be a high scoring affair with these two young quarterbacks between Love and Stroud. I think the ball gets passed around more. And Wicks might be out. Wicks has a shoulder injury.
And that's another factor into this
Yeah.
choosing of these two wide receivers.
So it depends. It really depends on my team makeup. If I feel like I can go for a boom or bust, I'm throwing Christian Watson in. If I feel like I am in a very close matchup and I know that every point counts, I'm going Romeo Doubs. Because Romeo's going to get the ball no matter what in games. Christian Watson is not always going to get the ball no matter what in games.
You're absolutely right there. We saw in 2 different weeks where he played 59% of the snaps, Christian Watson, and received 0 targets. And then in week 4 against Minnesota, he played in 12% of the snaps. I think he got hurt off also, but he only got 1 target in that game. You're right though. When he scores a touchdown, he gets double-digit points.
Yep.
But he's very touchdown dependent because he doesn't get targeted a lot until he gets that touchdown. Whereas Dobbs, he's going to get the targets. He's going to get receptions off those targets. He's going to work. It might be the ugliest 10 points you'll ever see, but he'll at least get you close to that.
Yeah.
But coming off of a suspension where he said, I need to get more involved in the offense, they suspended him for a game, and then he came in and got more involved in the offense with 2 touchdowns. I like Dobbs at this point. And I think no matter what, if I had these 2 and I had to select one of them, I'm picking Romeo Doubs.
I mean, I think it's funny that Dobbs said that after the Minnesota game because he was on the field for 86% of snaps and he had his most targets of the season with 8 and tied his highest season reception total of 4. He only had 39 yards. But I think he was saying that I need more touchdowns. I think that's really what he was saying. Target me in the end zone more, because last season he scored a touchdown in 7 games and he hadn't done that all season. And the Packers, as you saw, they don't mess around. They suspended Jair Alexander for going out on a coin flip when he shouldn't have. Like, they're going to say, hey, you're not being a team player. Get over yourself. Take a week off. Get over yourself. Come back and join us. And there's after that, there's some big pictures of Romeo Doubs hugging both Jaden Reed and Christian Watson. Like, okay, like you can tell that the bond is there. He's back on the team, and he's 24. We have to remember that, who
Yeah.
we were at 24 versus who we are now, you know. you know, like who I was at 24 if I was, you know, on the Packers and being a wide receiver and having the, you know, success and not feeling like it was all the success I wanted, I'd probably say something like that too. I get it.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm going Watson if you feel comfortable with the boomer bust game because I think he's going to be a boomer bust player, uh, especially against this Texans team where it's going to be a shootout. I think that
It's going to be a shootout for
it's
sure.
going to be upwards of 70 points in this game, and if you're getting 35 from the Packers at least, Watson's got one of those
Somebody's
touchdowns.
got, yeah, Watson's got one of those. Dobbs has one of those. Jaden Reed's
Mhm.
got one of those. Like,
Yep.
hopefully,
Yeah.
watch it be Tucker Craft with 5 touchdowns. But Tucker
No,
Craft tied in one season right
it's
there.
gonna come out. Emmanuel Wilson's gonna have 3 rushing touchdowns. Jordan Love's gonna have a rushing touchdown. Jaden Reed's gonna have a rushing touchdown. No passing touchdowns whatsoever.